Hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Do you like my professional Christi look today? I'm wearing my professional business Christi look today because we're doing something a little bit more business oriented, if you call social media business. Today I am sharing with you 8 things that you need to know about Instagram. They are my favorite Instagram and Instagram story hacks. Some of them are just ways that you can make your stories, not really your feed, but more your stories look kind of cool. And a couple of them are things that I want to share with you that will change your life, because if you hate trolls, like I do, this will keep all of those jerks out of your feed. And who doesn't love that? So let's get to it. This video is a little bit different for me and the format's a little different, so bear with me because I'm going to be cutting away to some of my screen records and showing you how I do some things. So comment below and tell me if you like videos like this so I can do more, because I am a wealth of information and I'm here to share with you. All right, so on stories, and I think a lot of you, we're gonna start with this one because it's kind of basic and I think a lot of you already know how to do this, but shout out to any of my Gen X moms out there who don't know how to do it. This is a life changer. I know as you're clicking through people's stories, sometimes you'll see the same photo and the text will change or more text will be added and you're like, well, how do they do that? This is how you do it. You start with the photo and then you're going to add your first block of text to that photo. So whatever it is, like if it's a step-by-step, if it's a tutorial, you're going to add that text to the top of your photo. Then at the top of your screen, you're gonna see the little save arrow with the line underneath. You're going to save that screen. Save it before you do anything else. Then you're going to post that screen to stories. Got it? Super easy. Then when you open stories and you're going to do your next screen, you're gonna swipe up and you're gonna select the story that you just saved with the initial text on it. Then you're going to add your second line of text. Easy as that. Then you save that screen as well. Save, upload that slide to your stories. Then if you have more text to add, you're going to repeat the same process. Swipe up, select the screen with the 2 lines of text, add your third line of text and add that to stories. So as someone is clicking through your stories, it looks like just the text is being added. It doesn't look like an entire new screen is being uploaded, when in fact it actually is. So bear with me. If you've already done it a million times and you know how to do it, great, super, this was a warm-up. But for all of those of you who didn't know how to do it, that is the easiest way that you can add multiple layers of text to the same photo and look like just the text is changing. So that's one of the easy tricks. Change the background color. I know sometimes you need just a background color, and there is an option that is sort of that watercolor text slide that you can choose on Instagram stories initially. But if you don't want to use that and you want to do your own background color, it's really simple. All you do is you take a random photo of whatever. You can take a picture of yourself, your shoe, whatever. Then you're going to go into the little draw icon. You're going to select the first icon and then you're going to see all the little color bubbles pop up at the bottom of your screen. Select one of those and then all you do is take your finger and you press and hold and voila, your screen is now that color. Then you can add text, you can add a photo, you can add different graphics or a GIF or whatever you're adding to that slide. But then the background color is whatever color you select. So that one's kind of easy too. But again, it's only easy if you know what you're doing. Changing the font colors if you put a background. This is one of my favorite things to do because it just makes your text look a little bit more custom on your Instagram stories. So let's say that you go in and you want to write like, hi friends, on your photo. So take your photo, you start writing, and I selected the bold font. You select bold, you write hi friends, and then you tap background color. Select whatever background color you want, and then the font automatically populates to white. So what happens if you want to change that font to a different color? All you do is you hold your finger on that font and then you select all and then choose a secondary color at the bottom, those bubbles again, and you can change it to black, you can change it to a complementary color, and then all of a sudden you have 2 different color fonts, on your Instagram story. So it just looks a little bit more customized and it's a little bit more interesting. It doesn't look like everyone else's. So that's my third tip. Oh, this is one of my favorite, a transparent overlay. So I use this if I'm sharing something that I want people to screenshot, or if I want them to save, like say for instance a recipe, you take a picture of the final product and then you want to put a transparent overlay. So I'm gonna show you an example using my favorite child, Barnes. Barnes, right? You're my favorite? Don't listen, Chloe and Clara. So you take that photo and then again, you're gonna click on the draw icon in the top of your stories. Then you're going to select the second little marker in, second from the left. When you select that marker, then you'll also have the option of selecting the different color in the bubbles on the bottom of the screen. I'm going to show you a few different options. So let's see some different colors. So you select that color and then you just tap and hold, and it should just give you like a sheer overlay wash on top of that photo. So if you want to change or select a different color, just X out of that. And then I'm going to actually go with a light pink. And then you have that overlay. So if I was like writing a recipe or a how-to or a step-by-step guide, this is a really great way to give you a cool background that you can provide that info for your followers. So I like that one. That one's one of my faves. This next tip is literally going to change your life. Remember I mentioned at the beginning, if you don't like trolls, this one's for you. Well, let me tell you, if you have kids, this is also a great one. Like if you are monitoring their Instagram, which you should be, because I don't think that it ever hurts to have a second pair of eyes on nasty comments that may pop up that you don't want your kids to see. But this is a way that you can select words, like say for instance, nose. Like if somebody wants to write rude things about my nose, which that happens quite often. So let's say I don't want to use the word nose, or if you are, I don't know, a teen girl and sometimes, you know, people aren't the nicest, other teenagers, and they use words like bitch or whore or words that you just don't want to see on your kids or your own Instagram. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to, and I'm going to walk through this on my phone. So you're going to click on the 3 lines in the upper right corner of your profile and then select settings. From settings, you are going to see the little lock that says privacy. Click on that. And then the top option there should be a little text bubble that says comments. If you click on that, there's controls at the top that says allow comments from everyone, where you can select that. But here is the trick that's going to save your life, or change your life, I should say. A little bit further down, you're gonna see filters. And hide offensive comments, you can automatically turn that one on. So you're gonna click the button so that it's enabled to on, but then manual filter. So if you click manual filter on, you have the option of writing all of those words that might pop up on your feed that are specific to you that you just don't wanna see. So for instance, like I said, if I wanted to write nose, I could write nose or bitch or any of the words that people think that they have the right to say to you on social media that they really don't, you can put those in there. And if you're looking for a specific person, like let's say for instance, I don't know, there's, I don't know, a specific dance teacher that you don't want their comments or somebody mentioning them in their comments. You write their name first with a lowercase and an uppercase letter so that both versions of that name don't show up in your comments. And then you can sleep soundly at night. So that's a great tip. All right, some other tips for keeping your account safe or keeping people off your account that aren't just very nice, that you don't want to see or hear from. You have the option that you can restrict, you can block, or you can remove a follower. So if you restrict a follower, you and that person are the only people seeing their comments. So I don't really know what the purpose of restricting someone is. I'm sure there's very specific cases, but for myself, most of the time, I don't really restrict people. I either block them if they're really being big trolls. If you block someone, they just aren't gonna be able to see you. When they go to your profile, if they can even find your profile, it's gonna show that you haven't posted anything, which is fine, because you don't want them in your world or your life. Great. If you remove them from following you, what's nice about this is you're no longer gonna pop up on their feed and they're not gonna get a notification that you removed them. So That's a nice tricky one. I've seen other businesses use that when people are like stealing their content or their ideas, they'll simply just remove a follower. It's nice because 9 times out of 10, that person doesn't even really realize that they've been removed. But if you block someone, they're gonna know that they're blocked. If you restrict someone's comments, I think that they don't realize that the whole world isn't seeing what they're saying to you. And I guess in a situation where maybe it's somebody that you go to school with and you don't want to create all kinds of controversy, you can restrict them so only you and they are seeing their comments, but the whole school isn't reading them, so restrict. Another handy trick that you can use is muting someone. I live for the mute button because there are some people that I follow that are just too much. Like, they're too much. They post constantly, their stories are the same. I don't want to unfollow them because I might be friends with them, but I just don't want to see everything that they're posting. Maybe it makes me feel bad about myself. So mute, you have the option of muting their posts or their stories or both. So Mark, I'm not really muting you, I'm just using you as an example. Maybe. The last trick I'd like to show you, or the last trick I want to share with you guys, this one is really, really cool. I know sometimes you see people with a photo background and then another photo will pop up, kind of in a layer effect, and you can actually do this in the same way that you do the text, where each different slide, you know, builds where more text pops up. I've seen people do this with different photos and it's really a cool effect where they've even turned their initial photos black and white as the new photos are put on top. So all you're gonna do is before you open the Instagram app, you're gonna go to your photos and you're gonna copy image of the photo that you want to be featured in the center of the slide. Does that make sense? Okay, so then you open the Instagram app, you go to your stories, you swipe up and you select the photo that you want to be the background. Great, background, super, it's on. Then here's the trick. You then go to that photo and you click on it like you're writing text, but instead of actually writing text, you hold your finger there and a little paste button will pop up and you click paste and voila. Then you have a photo stacked on top of another photo. And again, if you want to keep this going, then you hit the save button, you know, you post that photo, then you swipe up and then you have the 2 layers. And again, you can put the next photo on using the same technique, that hold, copy, paste. So, please hold. Those are some of the tricks and tips or hacks that I like to use on Instagram. And let me know in the comments if you have one that I missed and I need to know about. So I'll see you next week. Bye.